You've got a bunch of factors going on here in Europe at the moment. One is this desire by the French in particular to drive Europe forward and the Eurozone forward and generate some sort of political momentum behind reforming the Eurozone. Then we've got the migration story, and you kind of wonder whether the two circles sort of overlap at some point and one ends up sort of infecting the other. And then you've got the issue of Angela Merkel and how she fits into that story and whether or not she ultimately ends up being destabilised by it or even more destabilised by it. How do I price that? How do I actually make that real from a market point of view? So it's great to have sort of conversations about the socio-economic impact, but let's focus on the economic impact. Where do I price that into the market?
Well, you know what, I think you can make it very complicated or you can make it very easy. And if you take the easy route, and I think many investors will, is that you compare it, for instance, with last year. Last year, we had better than expected economic growth data from the Eurozone. We had better than expected political outcomes, particularly from that French presidential election and the Dutch election earlier on in the year. This year, we've got anxieties. Now, you may not understand all of the different parameters with respect to immigration. You may not understand all the different parameters with respect to budget or even what's going on with Merkel. But the fact of the matter is that we know that there are issues and that these issues could eventually, potentially, interfere with the coherence of the region. And that, I think, is currency negative. So what people tend to do, they will move away maybe from peripheral debt, they'll move into German debt. But the euro will be under pressure until, and hopefully this will never happen, but the euro will be under pressure unless things in Europe get so bad that the market begins to start speculating that there is going to be a breakup. And at that point, that's when the parameters change, because if there was a breakup and if it was just Germany and perhaps a few other core members were going to be in charge of the euro, that's when you would buy the euro. So for now, you would sell it on anxiety.